What's up guys, Jake with Team Tactical. Come to another special video. Today we are reviewing the Gritr Caracara. Is that how you pronounce it? Something like that. This was actually sent out to us by Gritr for testing and evaluation. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much. That being said, no money was ever exchanged for this review. We just wanted to get this out here for the channel for you guys to see and tell you why you may end up wanting to get something like this. And if you're new to the channel, you should know that anytime we get free stuff sent to us by different companies like this, we tend to beat the living piss out of it because it's really important to us and probably to you at home to know if this will really hold up to everyday carry and maybe even duty use. So today we're going to go over all the specs and features, zero the red dot, beat the living piss out of it, and see afterwards if it's going to hold zero for you. Let's see how she does. Okay, so first things first, we got to get a good zero on this, and then we'll start beat the piss out of it. Now let's go and address the elephant in the room. Yes, this is in fact an SBR. It's registered. I paid my taxes. Can't wait to show you a follow-up video on this as well. But back onto the red dot itself. The Caracara is a 3 MOA red dot. It's kind of a larger window of glass than what you typically expect. If you look at it compared to the Trigicon RMR I've got on my shadow systems here, you'll see it's actually a little bit bigger. Now this comes with a CR2032 battery, one of those little nickel batteries. It has 8 different brightness settings, 2 which are night vision and the rest which are for daylight. On the highest brightness setting, you'll get about roughly 20,000 hours of battery life. On the lowest, like one of the night vision settings, it says you'll get about 50,000 hours. Not the greatest battery life compared to some of the competition out there. However, it's got the shake-awake technology where essentially if you sat down somewhere, it'll turn off on its own until you come by and pick it back up, or it'll cut back on for you, keeping your brightness setting and all that intact. It's consistently low, which is as you expect, because whenever you have a high rise mount like this, yeah, it's going to make your point of impact significantly low. You know, the whole high lower bore axis, all that stuff, it all factors in. And just like most red dots, you've got your elevation and windage on the top and the right side, of course. No real issue there with adjusting that. It does use a small, teeny tiny little Allen wrench that they actually give you. So keep that in mind. So if you were to lose that, then you could probably go low somewhere and get a replacement. But it is an Allen wrench, but you're hearing steel hit, but I've actually got paper in front of the steel by a few feet. Wasn't trying to hit the steel, but it happens. That's about right on. That's a zero. I'll show you what we got. All right, let's see what we got here. This was shot number 1, like number 1 and 2, because they both overlapped. And then 3, 4, whatever. After I made my final adjustments, I got these 3 right here to the left of the bullseye. I adjusted back to the right just a little bit, and that last shot was right there on the head. Again, we're about like 40 feet. Now the housing itself is made from lightweight 6061 aluminum, and it's also supposed to be waterproof as well. We'll get back to that in just a second. I do have some concerns about how waterproof it really is. All right, you know what time it is. It's time for the water ball beating test. Again, we do this because this is a KP9. I just got registered as a SBR. I really don't want to beat the shit out of it. I don't want to damage it by dropping it on the gravel and concrete, and all that collateral damage is no buenos. For a second there, I thought we actually had some damage to the aluminum housing just from the water ball, but turns out it was just the water ball itself, the plastic just scraping off on the sharp corners here of the red dot and putting like little flakes of plastic and stuff. But yeah, that's good. Let's see how she shoots. The thing about this red dot that's really cool is it comes with a couple different options. You can get just the red dot with a low rise mount for like 130 bucks. You can also get with both the low rise mount as well as a 1/3 co-witness mount for 160-ish, something like that. Check around for prices. You can also stick it directly onto your pistol because it is in fact RMR cut as well. So in case you're not picking up what I'm saying, you're going to get a red dot, a low rise mount, and a 1/3 co-witness mount for 160 bucks. And you can choose to not use either one of those mounts and just stick it directly on your handgun if it's RMR cut. That's pretty awesome. Now, to me, in my honest opinion, I think this red dot is a really good, solid choice. There are some caveats that we need to talk about. Number one, Gritr has kind of made the same mistake that Trijicon has with their earlier RMR models, where in order to replace the battery, it's actually on the underside of the red dot. And that means no matter what mounting solution you choose from, if you have to replace the battery, you're gonna actually have to take the red dot off, possibly losing 0 if you have to change the battery out. If you guys know, a lot of times when we get these red dots in from companies, we're going to test to see if it's actually waterproof. I did not feel comfortable doing that with this one, and you can see why right here. There's no actual cover on the underside where the red dot sits. There's like a little bit of a rubber seal, like a little rubber gasket to kind of go around where the battery sits. And the idea is when you mount the red dot, when you tighten down those screws, it's supposed to provide good enough seal to keep water from entering the battery compartment. I mean, let's be honest, guys. If this thing gets bumped around, if it gets dropped or something like that, there's a good chance that seal is going to break and water could get in there. I'm just saying. I would really like to have seen a cover put there. Just a little, plastic, metal, or whatever, just something to kind of help reaffirm, yes, it is sealed up, it is waterproof. It seems to be holding up. Makes me a little nervous, not gonna lie. But it seems to be waterproof. My camera's not really wanting to focus, but the red dot seems to be intact there, so that's good. I'm aiming on the top right circle there as well. I've kind of been spraying on this target and the steel behind it, so that's the only thing that's not really been touched. Looks really good to me. I'm gonna shoot the top left one now too, just to really make it look nice and deep like here. That's pretty consistent, right? Might as well go ahead and dump the rest of this bag. All right, so my final thoughts on the Gritr Caracara. I think it comes at a very good price point. Again, roughly around 100, 130, 160, depending on your mounting options you choose. I think it's a good choice for most everyday people. Will I use it for like hardcore duty use? Probably not. But I think for range and competition and honestly probably everyday carry use as well, you should be fine. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's kind of like right in the middle with a little bit of a larger glass window for you to view the red dot from. I like that. And that's just if we're talking about mounting it directly to a handgun. Obviously, if you put it on a rifle or in this case like a KP9, you shouldn't really have any issue with finding the red dot. Despite the amount of beating and mag dumping we did, the point of impact remained consistent from both before and after, and we really didn't have any issue at all with parallax or anything. I like it, and I think you will like it too. Guys, let's go wrap it up today. If you enjoy that kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Have you picked up a Gritr Caracara? I'd love to hear from you. We will see you. Safety. Next time. And the rest which are bright, and the rest which are daylight settings. Then you'll get, whereas if you have it set on one of the lowest